Today's adventure takes us into Will County and Joliet, Illinois, to Mount Olivet Cemetery. This cemetery has about 10,000 graves, goes back to the 1850s, and most of the pioneers back then were Irish immigrants. So a lot of Irish immigrants in this cemetery, and some great monuments, as you can see behind me. And we're going to check out all these wonderful monuments today. So please join me as we explore Mount Olivet Cemetery. Welcome back, everybody, and thank you for joining me for another video. Today we are in Mount Olivet Cemetery here in Joliet, Illinois. And as I enter the cemetery, I come across this beautiful monument right away with a couple of angels there. Victoria's the name, 1866 to 1910. This is one of the older cemeteries in Will County. Beautiful cemetery, rolling hills, some nice trees. Here we are coming up to a Woodsman of America. Tree trunk. See a nice cross up there. Julia C., beloved wife of T. Donovan, 1881-1913. Rest in peace, her son Emmett C., February 5th, 1913 to April 5th, 1914. So that's unfortunate. Her son passed away just after a year old. Now I'm wondering if Julia died in 1913. Emmett was born in 1913, so I wonder if she died during childbirth, which is not uncommon back then. But little Emmett was only able to survive a year. And this is nice too, a planter with a plant and flowers. Very nice marker to Julia and her son Emmett. Going to eventually make our way there. In the distance there's some very tall markers. Looks like this used to be a family plot. Burke is the name. And we see Thomas Burke, World War I. Thank you for your service. Died in 1948. And then over here we see James Burke, who died in 1902. And then there's a Leo Burke, who was born in 1902, died in 1905. Interesting. Beautiful late winter day here. I'm looking forward to the time when I don't have to wear a hat and gloves and a coat. Looking forward to summer. Here's a monument. It doesn't look like it's been kept up too well. Looks like there was something inset there, from what I could tell. But it is gone. Well, that's a shame. Not much left there. But next to it, we have the Cox Monument. William Cox, born in Ireland. This cemetery does have its fill of Irish. Let me see if I can see what this says. Get my handy dandy flashlight out. Yeah, born in Ireland. Died January 18th, 1896, age 43, 9 months, 17 days. May he rest in peace, William Cox. Beautiful monument with the cross on the top. And there we have some more Irish. Dennis Murphy. Yeah, my bad Irish accent. Born in Ireland. 1896 he passed away. And Dennis Jr. also born in Ireland. 1898. And then Mary, their daughter, 1915. And next to that we have the McDonald Monument. Let's see whose name is on here. Margaret, wife of C. McDonald. She died 1896, age 53. May she rest in peace. But that is a beautiful monument for Margaret. Very nice. And then immediately behind me is Cassidy. This one's been weathered a bit. Cross still stands atop of that one. See Cassidy down there. Hard to make out that first name. I see Cassidy died 1892, it looks like, age 20. Somebody else died. It's like 1893. Also in their 20s, so young people. Here we have one of those Zinkys. The metal monuments that were ever so popular back in the late 1800s. This one's dated 1892. Usually it's the Chicago Bronze Company that produced these. We'll see if we could see a maker's mark on here at some point. I've also seen some from Detroit. This one we have Rose Murray, wife of Thomas Tennyson, died January 28th, 1891 at 51 years old. Beautiful monument to her. I do not see a maker's mark on it. It's unusual. Usually there's a maker's mark toward the base. Very interesting. I don't know why this one doesn't have one. Oh, which way to go here? Let's go under these large trees because this obelisk was calling my name. Massey is the name, and this is really interesting because it goes up to the trees. It's an obelisk. Well, it's not really an obelisk. It has a cross at the top instead of a point, and the IHS in his service. George Massey, he died November 11th, 1910, at the age of 65. Well, more of the Zinkys I see in here. You always have to check these out. Each one's a little bit different, I notice. This one has the cross, and it has an angel knelt down. Patrick Rogers, 93 years old, died 1885. And Michael Rogers, died 1890. You see an anchor and a lamb. I don't see a maker's mark on this one either. And it's like some wheat. Perhaps he was a farmer, hence the lamb and wheat. And here's another Zinky. John Derrig is the name. January 6, 1895. That is a nice one. Ellen Derrig died at the age of 37. See the anchor on that one, and then a hand holding a cross. Very nice. Wow, this one has really seen better days. I cannot read that one even with my flashlight. It looks like 1865 on the date of death there. Very, very interesting. Again, IHS. Memory of Mary, wife of Andrew Whalen, died 1896 at the age of 27. Young woman. So you might look in the distance and say, wow, this cemetery is massive. Well, that's actually another cemetery. That's Oakwood Cemetery, and I did do a video on that last year, which I'll try to link it up here to the top if you haven't seen that one. And beyond Oakwood Cemetery is another cemetery called St. Peter Cemetery, which is abandoned and not in good shape, and I also did a video on that one, and I'll try to link it above as well. Another beautiful Zinky over here. This one with the statue on the top. Egan is the name. John Egan, January 15th, 1889. It's 70 years old. And then John P. Egan, 1878, must have been his son, died at the age of 3. And this one actually has a hole in it. I don't know how that happens. That's got to take some work to drive a hole into that. What a beautiful statue. 1889 is the date. That is really nice. You know, as I walk through the cemetery and see that it was really almost all Irish back in the day, back when it was in the middle 1800s. And I'm thinking, well, why did they come here? What did they do? Well, you know, back then, Joliet, I mean, the rail lines were going in. Joliet had quarries, big with limestone. And the I&M Canal wasn't too far away. So yeah, we all know the Irish worked heavily on the I&M Canal, Illinois and Michigan Canal. So that might explain why there's so many Irish in this cemetery, because Joliet was really coming within its own back then in the middle to late 1800s. But as I walk here, I wanted to show you this. Let me turn the camera. Yes, it's a mausoleum. Love mausoleums. Crawley is the name on this one. Beautiful old mausoleum. See if I can get in there. It's not very well, can I? Well, we have Gertrude Crawley. I see 1962. Lenora Mork, looks like 1945. I'm going to walk around the other side. A beautiful limestone structure. There's a water container here. Beautiful limestone structure. This window's clearer because it's not out of the west. Still probably not good to see. But I see Ellen Scanlon Crawley, 1922, and Lawrence Crawley. Hard to tell on the date there, but it does look like this mausoleum is at capacity. Only mausoleum in this cemetery, too. Beautiful structure. What a unique tombstone this is for Paul Sullivan. Died 1899, March 27th, and Margaret Sullivan, March 29th, 1899, 2 days after Paul, I believe, if those dates are correct. And as far as I'm reading them, unless it's maybe that's 1898, maybe that's 1899. A little tough to read, but a beautiful tombstone to the Sullivans. Massive cemetery, almost 11,000 graves here. Let's check out. I should pan to my right here and show you what I'm seeing, and we're going to check all these out. Look at these, guys. Just beautiful. Just beautiful monuments. Let's check out the Larkin one. We have the Larkin family here. Raymond, Adeline. Let's see what this is. Thomas Larkin. Let's get my flashlight and make it a little easier for me to read this. Died 1906, 70 years of age. Native of Galway County, Ireland. Ellen Larkin, she died 1898 at 57. Native of Queens County, Ireland. And that is, we got more on this side. Edward Larkin died 1914 and Mary 1944. Just beautiful. And next to it, now we're playing a game of mine is bigger than yours, because as we progress down this row of monuments, they just get larger and larger. It says, Very Reverend Thomas Mancan, born in County Clare, Ireland, died 1898 at 71. Wow, what a massive monument. And on this side, as I'm looking directly into the sun, sacred to the memory of Miss Hannah Mangan, born in the parish of Killamy, County Clare, Ireland, died 1872 at 78 years old. And you can see the name here, and just absolutely grand monument to the Mancans. Let's see what we got here. I see Darcy in the name of this one. Wow, that's got to be 25 feet tall, if a foot, right? John W. Darcy Jr. Well, didn't die till 1986, and Verna 1988, so this monument not that old. Well, maybe it is a little bit old. We got John Darcy here, Senior, died 1935, 74, and Carrie, his wife, 1921 at 52. Just awesome. Okay, next to the Darcy Monument is the Ward Monument. Eliza here. Let me get a shot of this monument first. Again, about 25 feet tall. Cross on top. Eliza, wife of Jeremiah Nolan. She was only 26. A lot of names on this one. Here's Joseph Ward, native of Queens, County Ireland, 1895. So as you can tell, predominantly Irish cemetery with some beautiful monuments. The next one, as we go down this line of great monuments, is the McGuire Monument. McGuire name there. This is an interesting, I don't know what this means. Interesting symbol. I don't know if there's anyone carved in here or not. No, no one in that monument. I guess there are headstones out in front of that monument. Let me check these out. Yeah, here's all the McGuire family here. Wow. Again, as we go down the line, the monuments just keep getting bigger. The size of that cross. Wow. Probably get a better view of it from this side with the lighting. Look at that. Look at that. Unbelievable. Waters is the name. Let's see what the inscription says. Edward Waters. Died 1894. 50 years old. Margaret, his wife, died 1891. That looks like 39, but that can't be right. It must be 89. Because why would he be... well, that might be right, because he was 50. He died in 1894. Yeah, so... no, that's right, 39. She was just much younger than him. Okay guys, this is the biggest monument in this cemetery. Standing probably over 30 feet tall. I can't even imagine the work that went into this. It almost looks like a Gothic cathedral. Just incredible. Abiel Smith is the name, 1808, 1889. And I really wish the sun wasn't behind the statue, because that statue's unbelievable. What an incredible monument. I mean, this would be something you would see in Graceland Cemetery in Chicago, not here in the middle of Will County in Joliet. Just incredible. Just beautiful. And you can see the line of monuments. Let's take a look at a couple of these while we're here. Darcy, the name on this one. And we just saw a Darcy monument over there. John Darcy, born in Wexford, Ireland, died 1881, age 62, and Margaret, his wife. I like how the Irish really like to let you know where they're born. Died 1863. They seem to really like to let you know where they were born, what county they came from in Ireland. I mean, you'll see like the Germans will say born in Germany or something, but Irish really narrow it down to the county. Frank Darcy, 1931 it looks like. Ah, we got one here. Born in Joliet, 1891. Nice, very nice. And adjacent to that is this old, weathered, very weathered, very, very intricately designed, however, but I don't see any inscriptions on it, nor do I see any. Maybe there was an inscription here, I think. You can kind of see. Yeah. You can kind of see where there was an inscription here, but it's so weathered that it's completely gone. So what a shame. That's too bad. As I'm walking through here, I found this very unique monument here, because it looks like somebody writing on a chalkboard. Let's see if I can identify anything. Webb is the name on here. Mammy, it looks like. Yeah, it looks like a woman writing on a chalkboard. I'm assuming she must have been a teacher. 1884, June 1884 to April 23rd, 1904. So 20 years old for Mammy. Young woman. Not even 20 years old. Wow, another great walk today. I love this old Irish cemetery. It's just great and still active. And it's just, again, one of those cemeteries that I can walk through for hours. There's just so much to see. But thank you for coming along on my walk today. And I really hope you enjoyed the video. And as always, until next time, keep exploring.